The goal was never really about the goal. The goal was about the becoming, the working towards the version of yourself you were building in the process of chasing it. And now that you are here on the other side, you have the thing and you have lost the point. That is the grief of success. And it is one of the loneliest griefs there is because it has no socially acceptable name. You got there. The specific thing you had been working towards, building towards, quietly organizing your entire life around for years, the title, the number, the level, whatever it was for you, you got there. And on the day it happened, you waited to feel it. And what arrived was not what you expected. Not joy exactly, not the relief you had been promised. Something quieter and more disorientating than either of those. Something that sounded like, is this it? Not a breakdown, not regret, just a realization that the thing you built your life around getting to doesn't feel the way you thought it would. And nobody told you what to do when that happens. Because nobody talks about it. Because how do you explain that arriving, that feeling like an ending rather than a beginning, without sounding ungrateful for the thing you work so hard to get? That is what we are talking about today. Let me describe the specific feeling you crossed the finish line on, and the first thing you noticed was that the finish line was just a line, not a door into something new, not the beginning of the chapter you had been waiting for. Just the end of the one you were in. And you stood there on the other side of the thing you had been working towards. And you felt something you were completely unprepared for. Empty is too strong a word. Flat is closer. Like the volume on everything got turned down on the day it was supposed to get turned up. And then the people around you celebrated. And you celebrated with them. Because you knew it was right to celebrate. Because you had worked for this and it was real and it mattered. But underneath the celebration, quietly, you were asking a question you didn't have anyone to ask out loud. Now what? Not because you didn't have a next thing. You probably did, but because the next thing didn't have the same pull. It didn't have the same charge. Didn't make you feel the way working towards the goal had made you feel. And that was the moment you realized something that nobody prepares you for. The goal was never really about the goal. The goal was about the becoming, the working towards the version of yourself you were building in the process of chasing it. And now that you are here on the other side, you have the thing and you have lost the point. That is the grief of success. And it is one of the loneliest griefs there is because it has no socially acceptable name. What if you could grieve this properly? Not perform gratitude over the top of it, not push through to the next goal before you have processed what this one cost you. Not spend the next 5 years quietly wondering why you feel less alive than you did when you were still working towards something. Otherwise, What if you could actually sit with a specific disorientation of arrival? Name it for what it is. And it used to be information rather than a problem. Use it as information to solve a feeling rather than suppressing it. Here's what naming it correctly gives you. It separates the achievement from the meaning. And that separation is where the next real thing lives. Right now, if you are in this particular place, the achievement and the meaning have collapsed into each other. The goal was the point, and now that you have it, there is no point, and that feels like failure, even though it's not. It's not failure, it's just the end of a chapter that was never supposed to be the whole story. When you can see it, when you can see that clearly, you can ask a different question. Not what is wrong with me that this doesn't feel like enough, but what was I actually building towards underneath the goal? What did I think arrival would give me? And is there a way to move towards that thing directly now that the goal has stopped being the vehicle? That question leads somewhere. The other one just leaves you stuck. Here is the part that makes this harder than it needs to be. Getting there costs you something. Yes, not just time, though it cost you time, yes, not just energy, because yes, it did cost you energy, that too. It cost you a version of yourself that existed in the pursuit. The version of you that was building towards something. That had a clear direction, yes. That could point to the goal and say, this is where I am going. And I feel the specific clarity and aliveness that comes from moving towards something. Something that you care about. That version of you was not the goal. She was the byproduct of working towards it. And now that you have arrived, she is harder to locate because she existed in the tension between where you were and where you were going. And you closed the gap. And it went quiet. There's also something else. There's also something else here worth naming. 20 years of working towards something means 20 years of decisions made in service of the goal. Choices about where to live, who to be with, what to prioritize, what to let go of, what to put on hold. And some of those things stayed on hold for a long time. Long enough that they stopped feeling like things on hold and started feeling like things that just didn't happen. Not for you. And now you are here on the other side and you have the goal. And you are starting to do the quiet, uncomfortable accounting of what it cost you to get here. What you traded, what you deferred, what you lost in the process of winning the thing you are working towards. That's accounting. That accounting is grief. Real, legitimate, unnameable, at a dinner party grief. And it does not mean you made the wrong choices. It means you made real ones, and real choices have real costs. And those costs deserve to be acknowledged, even when the outcome was everything you worked for. Here is what I want to offer you. Arrival is not the end. It is a specific kind of beginning that nobody teaches you to recognize because it doesn't look like a beginning. It looks like a stop. But what is actually happening underneath in the flatness and now what that quiet grief is getting to is that you are being asked a question you have never had to answer before. Who are you when the goal is no longer the point? Not who were you in pursuit of it. Not who did you become in order to achieve it. Who are you now on the other side with the thing you worked for in your hands and the road that brought you here behind you now? That is not a crisis question. It's a becoming question, and it is one of the most important questions you will ever be asked, because the answer to it, if you are willing to sit with it honestly, points directly at what is really next. Not the next goal in the same direction, but the next real thing. The thing underneath the thing you were chasing. The version of your life that the goal was always pointing towards, even if you never articulate it quite that way. You are not lost. You are at a threshold. And the threshold feels like endings because something is ending. But the something is also beginning. And the beginning is quieter than the ending right now, which is why it's hard to see. It is there. Give it some room. Here is where I want you to start. Write down what you thought arrival would feel like. Now, what it does feel like, write that down. What are the thoughts you're having? The version you had in your head when you were in the middle of working towards it, the thing. The feeling you were chasing underneath the goal itself. Was it freedom? Validation? The sense that you had finally done enough? Proven enough? Become enough? Was it permission to slow down? Permission to start something new? Permission to stop performing and just be? Write it down, whatever it was, because that feeling, the one underneath the goal, is the real thing you were working towards. And it is still available to you, not just through the goal. The goal was a vehicle. And you have arrived. Now you need to find a different vehicle for the same destination. Second thing, give yourself permission to grieve. Grieve what was getting there, what getting there cost you, without qualifying it, without reminding yourself you made the right choices, without counting your blessings before you are done, feeling the loss, the cost. The cost was real. The trade-offs were real. The things you put on hold or let go of or lost in the process of getting here, those were real too. And they deserve acknowledgement before you move on to the next thing. You cannot build something honest on top of unacknowledged grief. It just becomes the foundation of the next thing you eventually have to stop and reckon with. Grieve it properly, all of it. The gap between what you expected and what arrived. The cost of the journey. The version of yourself that existed in the pursuit and is now asking what her job is. And then, when you are ready, and not before, ask the question that actually leads somewhere. What was I always moving towards underneath this? And what does the next chapter look like if I move towards that directly? That question is the beginning, and you are ready for it, even if it doesn't feel that way yet. If any part of this landed, the flatness of arrival, the grief of what getting there cost you, the quiet now, what's sitting underneath the achievement feels like, stay close The short video that goes with this one is linked below. It's under a minute and it names this From the Outside In. And if you are ready to figure out what actually becomes next, not the next goal in the same direction, but the next real thing, come and talk to me. That is actually the conversation I have with women who are standing exactly where you are. The link is in the description. I'm Lee, and I'll see you in the next one.